Good morning, warriors. How we doing today? We are Monday, and I believe this is June, what is today? June 6th, I believe, yes. 2022. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Been working a lot around the house, catching up with lots of types of things before I start working. I got a little bit of a mini break right now, so I'm kind of trying to catch up with stuff, so I don't get a chance to always get on and do a video, but I'm doing one this morning for a couple reasons. One, yesterday we hit 730 days. This is 731 days, and so approximately if you go 265 each year, 365 each year, then you're talking about 730. So that's kind of where I'm at. So we're at our 2-year state, which is good. We have about 10 more years to go, so we're gonna keep trying, my friend. We're gonna keep trying. But I'll reflect a little bit on that. And I had a very interesting comment by a Debra Jones over the weekend, and I tried to respond back to her a little bit. But let me kind of talk about the whole idea first, and we'll talk about that as we go through reflections as well. So thank you once again for all subscriptions. I think we're over 400 now, so thank God. Thank you guys. I feel very blessed that you guys are getting something out of the channel, and that we're doing some things, and helping you guys kind of talk about some of these issues that are important to you when it comes to this type of stuff. So thank God. I feel blessed that we're doing this, and I really enjoy doing this. So to me, that's the satisfaction I get. The gratefulness that I feel that you guys are getting something out of it is really great for me. So just continue to send the comments, likes, all those type of feedbacks that you want, whether it's good or bad. For me, it really doesn't bother me all that much. I'm really more interested in you guys. If you take the time out to write, that means something to me, even if you don't like what I'm doing or what I'm saying. That's fine. Happy to address that and kind of at least give you my opinion on it. And I'm not always right on things, but I can kind of go back to let you indicate how I feel about something, and that what affects me. And that's kind of the only kind of perspective I can kind of give. I can try to bring in some research at times, but most of the time it's more of a case of just my observations over 60 some years, and I'll be 61 on June 25th. And so, we're moving closer to that direction as well. So let's, before we talk about reflections a little bit here, and this kind of goes into reflections a little bit too, but Debra Jones made a very interesting comment and talked about, and I think, whether she was trying to kind of make a comment towards my looks and things like that, I'm not sure. Maybe she was. But her second comment was talking about the fact that, we want 20-year-old women, and will they want you? Well, I think, first of all, I think you make a very interesting type a comment, Deborah, and I also think that you have a lot of accuracy in your comment, because the 99% of the people, the men that we kind of talk about here, that are outside of the circle of what we're doing, kind of focuses on this. Well, we want, women, young women, old women, doesn't really matter, and they want to, they don't know if the woman wants them. And obviously any kind of relationship is going to be a two-way type of thing. And you're right. From that perspective, Deborah, you're right. The fact is that you have to have, the woman has to want the man. So there's no doubt about that. And so sometimes you get situations, well, will she want you? And if you're in that 99% type of category, and I was for many, many years, that is always something you have to think about. So, Deborah, from that perspective, you're right. And once again, I appreciate your making comments and, giving feedback, which is wonderful. So keep doing that. I appreciate that. I'll encourage you to keep doing that, whether you like the way I look or not. I still appreciate that. So, but let me kind of take a different perspective, and maybe just to clarify. And now that I'm at 2 years of this, let me kind of clarify a bunch of things. So I was in that 99% category. That I thought, and a lot of what I did most of the time was dealing with sex and trying to, have all those type of things. Even though I'm married 30 years, you still think about those things all the time. Well, or so I thought. And so for 57, 58 years almost, at the point where I thought this is what life was, and I was living in this blue matrix, I would call it, of life. And so basically you're talking about living in a blue matrix, and you're thinking, well, this is the way the world is. Well, in the back of my mind, 45 years I've been fighting this idea that this is not the way the world is. They would tell you, doctors would tell you, well, it's okay to look at pictures and to let your energy go and to find as many women, or if you're a woman, find as many men as you can, and have large body counts and all this kind of stuff, that these terms that a lot of the younger people use. So the thing is that as I was thinking about this, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm a very strong religious type person, that the Bible really talks about the fact that you should not be losing your energy unless you're going to procreate. And so I finally made the decision, I was 58 years old, something like that, or 57, 58, close to that. I think it was probably close to it because I'm going to be 61. So 2 years, maybe even close to 59, who knows? I'm trying to think of these mathematical terms here. So I'm at 2 years. So it would seem to me, 2 years, probably around, when did I probably start this? 2 years ago. And so I was 61, so probably close to 59, then 57, so 59. And so when I thought about this, I said, well, I'm almost 60 years old. And it's at the point where I am not going to kind of fool around with this anymore. I'm going to say I'm going to go full committed into this journey. And whatever happens, happens, right? Because at this point, we've had our kids, and we've been married 30 years, and we are still, I love my wife, and we have a lot of great relationship, and so that's never going to change. But I'm going to go on this journey to kind of see, okay, what kind of benefits and effects this has. And so the benefits over all these last couple years have been outstanding, for a lot of reasons. The health-wise is number one. The peace of mind, the ability to become closer to God is the biggest one, actually. There's a reason I'm doing this. I had read a number of different things with people over the years, and Malcolm X, I think, is the one that stands out to me, who, retained for 12 years in order to get closer to God. And that's kind of where I'm heading. I'm trying to get to that point where I'm thinking about that. And so as I think about it, now you also have a lot of other benefits like stronger focus, greater attraction. The attraction part is more important to a lot of you younger guys because you're not married. You may not have family and kids and girlfriends and things like that. And so that becomes a stronger type of thing for you guys than it is for me. At this point in my life, that's not a major concern, as I think I told Debra, back in a response I gave back to her. So I think that I said this is a time for me to do this, and I've had such great response that I wanted to kind of do a bunch of videos, which we started, I think, last year with this after probably over a year. I think August will be kind of our 1 year type anniversary for these shows, and I'll continue doing these. Maybe I try to do them. I try to do them every one day, but I'm kind of losing track on that a little bit. But I'll do them every so often to kind of get you guys information. And I have a few that I got to catch up with as well. So I'll probably start doing those if I have a little more time this summer as well. But the idea then is you're talking about being in that 1%. I quickly found out through videos and other types of things that I was seeing and researching that this retention that we're talking about is only practiced by 1% of the people, especially in the United States. Now, it may be the world as well, but I know in the world when you talk about brahmacharya and Sufism and a lot of the other things we're talking about and abstaining and and those type of things. There's a lot more people that do it outside of the United States that I believe that I'm aware of. So the thing is that this is something that came to be as a concept to me to think about. Well, what's the benefits and what should I be doing with this? Now, I was so overjoyed, and I still am, with the amount of the less anxiety that I have, the stress that I have, the ability to talk with God and feel more comfortable with that all the time, that I think that this has now become a lifestyle. And I think as one of our viewers mentioned, that this is a lifestyle. I think we actually did a video on this. That this is a lifestyle and not something you're just doing for short periods of time here and there. So in a sense, what you're doing is changing your lifestyle. And this is something that I think it's hard for a lot of people to understand. And this is why when I had sent a message back to Debra on her comment, I said that in this situation, the 1% of the people who are on this retention thing, we are not thinking about women first. Now we're talking just about men here. The 1% men that are in this category are not thinking about women. We are thinking about goals, things we're trying to achieve, and keep moving and goal setting. Keep doing things over time, right? And keep achieving things and trying to get better and better and better. And so that is the focus, that's the mindset that the 1% group is in. This is why it's only 1%. And so as Debra's talking about this thing about, wanting 20-year-old women, well, she's making the assumption that the 1% group is focusing on women like the 99% group is. And that's what separates us. That's the difference. The difference is that's not the case. And so that hasn't been the case for me for 2 years. And like I said, I love my wife, but I'm not focusing on that as a major issue any longer, like I did for all those years. So because of that, then, what ends up happening, as I mentioned this before with the benefits, and you guys know this, that you're getting the benefits of attraction from other people. Because you're not really focusing on this, and your energy level is so high, I believe it attracts people, and especially in this case, all the females. And so in many of these cases, if the question that Debra had, does a 20-year-old, or whatever woman we're talking about, want you back? Well, in most cases, many of us are so blind to what's happening out there because we're focusing on goals that this is not a thought pattern. And that basically what's going to happen is that you'll get somebody showing attraction to you first. With that being the case, then there's 99% chance this person's gonna want to be with you. And so if you're a young guy looking for somebody, this kind of girl would be interested in you. Now, how you handle that and how you progress in the relationship and keeping your retention as long as possible, or continue that lifestyle, even if it's not totally 100%. I'm losing my get bouncy here a little bit on the road, but if you're talking about trying to look at the attraction, that person is going to be attracted to you first, and that's going to be the whole key to the situation. So when we look at this, the whole idea is that you want to go ahead and realize that you're going to get the attraction from other people. And so in Debra's point, does she want you? Well, the bottom line is that you're not really looking for relationships. You are, but you're looking to establish yourself first, making yourself the best person you can be, and that is low on your consideration pattern. So in this case, then, you'll know a person's attracted to you, and there won't be much doubt. And those who are not attracted to you, they're going to move on, and so it doesn't really matter to you. And so this is why I answered the question back to Debra by saying that I think that for the 1% of the people we're talking about here, when you're on retention, this is not a high priority. And yes, we want feminine women, And that's very, very true. I think this is where the video she was commenting on. We want to have feminine women because it matches our masculine energy. But the bottom line is that we're not going to chase women. And that's the whole bottom line. And so basically when you're not chasing women, women will chase you. Only because you're focusing on goals, and the types of women that you want who recognize that, will understand that, and will be able to show their appreciation and showing that they want to be someone who is not just thinking about, chasing them around, that they want somebody who has goals and those type of things. And the feminine energy matches that. Okay. So I think that's the key, and the thing that I've learned over the last couple of years especially is the idea that if you continue with your journey, you're going to continue to get more and more benefits from these. And that the idea that you're becoming the strongest person you can become, the most disciplined person you become, and having all those type of things, focusing, achievement, all those things with you is a very strong thing to do. And if you have that, then you become a well-rounded person like Aristotle and Socrates and all the Greek and Roman philosophers talked about for many, many years. Plato, and trying to become that well-rounded person that is, is respected and admired, and a person who is a very attractive person for a lot of people. Once again, it's kind of a two-edged sword, because though you get the attraction, you're not interested in really kind of releasing energy unless you're kind of doing this for a long term with one person. So hopefully, Deborah, I kind of responded back to you both in a written form and in a video. And once again, guys, I want to appreciate and thank you guys for all your support. We're over 2 years now, and it's a great thing to kind of be at. I never thought in all my years that I could get to this point, and so I'm going to continue doing it. And Monk Mode, I think, is getting close to a year as well. So, we're not, I think we're still for, maybe it's about 200 and some days, so I got to go back and look at that a little bit. But I think certainly staying away from this as the time goes on, my reflection is really that it does become easier in one way, but then you can get blindsided another way. And so something can hit you right away, and you have to be really careful with what you're doing, especially if your diet. So I drink a lot of water, and that tends to kind of loosen your weight a little bit and get your blood flowing. And so it's easy to get to the point where you do get excited about things, but you also want to focus on then releasing, not releasing that energy and transmuting that into other types of things that can kind of make your body a lot stronger and things like that. So, all right, my friends, well, have a great day today. This is June 6, 2022. And I wanted to once again have a big shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for all your subscriptions and things. And hopefully we'll keep growing along, and we'll get to 750 pretty soon. And we'll keep moving along with that, and hopefully keep going on our pace and see what happens. Right? We got about 10 more years, but we'll keep moving ahead. And like I said, any questions you have, comments, let me know. Once again, Deborah, thank you for your comment. I'm at the point in my life, I'm not going to, get upset if you don't like the way I look, or you don't like the way that, what I'm saying. I respect you for giving comments and feedback. But this is the way that I look at this, and, hopefully you can kind of see at least the point that I'm making. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and battle on.